Hi, Steve here. If you've been around racing as long as I have, there's many things that have been and gone and come back again. But there is one thing that some of you may have seen, which was Bookmakers Nightmare, the inside secrets to horse racing professionals. Now, what it is actually a recipe on... There's 50 pages there, and I'll give you a link where you can download it for free if you like. But there's 50 pages there, of which only about 6 or 7 of them are worth reading. And that is how can you read a market, get the percentage of a market, so you know really and honestly which horses have moved in comparison to each other. So you are actually comparing apples with apples. And in this example, I'll give you a classic case of that. So in a perfect market, and we're talking about if all the horses' odds were added up, they would come to 100 in a perfect market. Now, if you're with the TAB, you're probably looking around 120, 123. If you're with bookies, 117, 120. Some unscrupulous ones out to 130. And as you get closer to the market, to the off, the market contracts down closer to 100. Betfair normally is you're looking around the 103%. And why do I say what Betfair is? Because it's important that you keep that in mind when I tell you something a little bit later on. So how do we find out the percentage of a market a horse is? Well, basically, it's 1 divided by the price times 100. So a horse at the odds of $2.50 or £2.50 is actually has 40% of the market. So 40% of all money in that market is on that horse. So consequently, it's 40% of the market. Now, a horse that is at $2 or £2 is even money, and that has 50% of the market. So it has half the money invested in that race is on that horse. Okay, so if we look at a couple of other prices to give you the understanding of it, that a horse at 25 to 1 is only 4% of the market. So for every $100, there's $4 on that horse. And if a horse is at $10, it has 10% of the market. That's a pretty easy one to work out. So now that we know what percentage of the market the horse holds, we can now compare it, how well the horse is being supported. The whole thing with looking at market support is looking at a time, and say, for example, we'll look at, say, in Australian racing, probably 30 minutes before the off. You want to look at the prices, and then we want to look at the prices just before the off to see where the money is going. And this is why is this so important? Is because it's comparing apples with apples, and there's a classic case that I'll explain in a second. What I want you to have a look at now is, now that we can put a peg in the sand and see the support at one period of time and then look at it 30 minutes later to see what's happening, this is how we do it. So 30 minutes before the start, horse A is at $25. So it has 4% market support. Horse B is at $2.50. So it has 40% of the market. Now, 1 minute to the start, horse A has gone from 25s to 10. So its price movement, it's come down $15. So it's more than halved its 30-minute price. And horse B is at odds of 2s now. So it's come in 50 cents. Hooray, woo, I hear you say. Here's the question. Which horse has moved the most as far as we're talking in market share? Is it horse A that's gone from 25 to 10? So it's come in $15. It's more than halved its opening price at 30-minute mark. Or horse B that's gone from $2.50 into 2. So it's come in 50 cents or 50p. The answer, congratulations if you got it, is horse B. With 1 minute to the start, horse A's odds now at $10 or £10 is 10% of the market. That's its market percentage. But horse B at $2 now is 50% of the horse market. So if we look at here, the market percentage movement is horse A going from 25 to 10 has gone from 4% of the market now to 10% of the market. So it is holding, its market share has increased by 6%. So it's gone from 4% to 10. So it's had a market movement of 6%. And horse B has gone to $2, has gone from 40% of the market to 50% of the market. So horse B has had a 10% market movement. So 4% more than the 25 to 1 shot that's come into 10s. Now we hear a race caller say horse A has been plunged from 25 to 10. And of course more people pile in and support it. To go from 25 to 10 needs less money spent on it, as we can just see there, than what it does for a 2.5 or $2.50 horse to come into 2. So the actual fact is horse B is the most supported horse, but no one gets excited about a small price movement, even though it is a big market movement. In Sam's Bookmaker Nightmare, he shows you how to get the market and how to see the movements. When he wrote this book, a lot of technology we have now was not available. Now you don't need to manually record the prices at one time frame, say the 30-minute mark, and then work out the market percentages and then record them again. Here's the worksheet that he includes in his Bookmaker Nightmare book. And as I said, if you visit us on the Racing Price Monitor, you can download the whole PDF for free. So what has changed since Sam wrote the book is really quite remarkable. We have a product I'm going to show you now called Racing Price Monitor, and just as from July 2021 we've put this market percentage now into our Racing Price Monitor. So what I've just explained to you, you can do it in the blink of an eye. It's all done for you. You can look at the 30-minute price movement, the 10-minute price movement, the hour price movement. You can set the 6 time frames of when you want to see what the market is doing and who has been making the biggest percentage market movement. You can look at also price movement, but also the market percentage movement, which has more accuracy than just price movement. So without further ado, let me show you Racing Price Monitor and how it uses the Bookmaker Nightmare market percentage. Okay, grab yourself a coffee, strap yourself in, and away we go. Okay, what I'll show you here, this is Racing Price Monitor, and end of July 2021 we added price movement. So you can see now what I explained in the first part of this video. This is the price movement. So our horse here has come from 3.95 into 2.78, so that's a 10.65 percentage movement in the market. We also have price movement, and you can see there it's giving the movement at 29%. That's just the price from 395 down to 278, but we're interested in market movement. We have T1, T2, T3, and we can set these to time zones. So the T1, this is 30 minutes out, 60 minutes out for T1, 45 for T2, T3 is at a half hour mark and going down from there. Current price is what the price is right now, and as this race is finished, this was the starting price on the start time. So it was the off time, the scheduled off time, the price was 2.78. You can actually set it to run after the off if it's delayed, but we have it at the off time. So we can see there that the winner there was indeed a market mover. It doesn't always work that way, but now you can see the market movements in the blink of an eye. So we can go from that race to another race here. We just go to Kempton. We can see there only a few runners. We can see the top weight Golden Bugle was a 2.41 percentage market mover. the winner was actually a drifter, as you can see there. If you want to know what all the greens and that are, there's other videos on this page at Racing Price Monitor that explains all those. But what I wanted to show you here was the new edition of the price movement. And also it works in other ways as well. If we have a look at the Kempton race here, this is a good case of when Sam wrote the book of Bookmakers Nightmare, he was looking at horses that were firming in the market to give you a guide as to the winner. But it just as equally works this way here. If we look at Natasha, it's gone from 2.14 all the way out to 3.05. So it's nearly a 14% market drifter from its price an hour ago to now. So that's a good indication that obviously the market doesn't have any faith in Natasha winning. It ran a place, but it didn't win. So when Sam wrote the book, there was no obviously no laying in that involved. So now with market movements, we can use it in the laying market and the betting market, the backing market. So it gives you a two-pronged attack, if you like. So the main purpose of this video is to explain the market movement. We've added that as of July 2021. Now you have the market movement and you have the price movement. So you can use both. You don't have to write down anything. It's all there visual for you. And you can change these tee times to whatever time gaps that you want. And the software covers Great Britain, Ireland, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, France. So there's plenty of avenues to use this. Also, you can see up here the over-round market on this Kempton race was just over 100%, so very close to that 100% perfect market, and we can see there the matched amount was £485,000 on this race. I'll just click on another race somewhere. Where are we? This one here. You can see 40%, but that is the price movement. Let's go to the market movement, and we can see the market movement was 7.13. And you can see if we go right along the lines there, we can see at the different times. So in the 2 minutes before the off and that, you can see it was a 3.65 market move in those last 2 minutes, and for the last 10 minutes it was a 5.92 market mover. But over the hour, which was the T1 time, it was 7.13, and of course seeing there we can see it didn't run a play. So it's not going to work all the time, but it's a very good guide on the horses, what horses have a live chance and which horses are going around for the run. Okay, so thanks for watching this. Racing Price Monitor is a great way to see what's happening in the market, and we also have other options like the steamer and drifter option. If I just click on that, this here, it gives us information on what horses are steaming in. And we can see here now the current price, the price movements are all there. So this is another part. It's not part of market movement. This is price movement, but it's another option that's available in our Racing Price Monitor. And I hope that you watch some other videos on this website and get involved. It's a great software and gives you a great lead-in to the chances of the winners and the ones that are out of favour, like the layers, the drifters, where you can possibly find avenues to lay. On behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you join us in this exciting ride of Racing Price Monitor. Thank you.